All right, guys, you got this. Let's go. Gun right, triple E. Close, let's go. On one, on one.
Ready?
Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pick'em with HuddleGG, and welcome to our first episode of Ask Huddle here for Madden 26. If you guys are new here and have not been to this series before, it's something that we do every week where we answer your guys' questions in the community. So whatever questions you guys have about the game, just make sure you put it in the comment section below, and we will make sure to get to those in a future video. For this first episode, we are just going to go over some common questions that we get to start the year. Obviously, because we haven't had a place for people to be asking questions already for Madden 26. But again, going forward, every question that we ask here in these videos will come directly from you guys. So again, wherever you're watching this, make sure you leave that in the comment section below. With that being said, let's dive right into this week's episode. And the first question we're going to go over is how to block mid blitz, how to block double mug. This is something that a lot of people run in the game year in and year out. Let's go over a few things here of what we can do to block it. So we're just going to come out in a random play on the offensive side of the ball. But again, double mug, it can be 3-3, it can be 2-4, it can be the normal double mug. They all play very similarly. Again, in the play, mid blitz is very popular to start the year because cover 0 is popular to start the year, and this is a pretty effective blitz year in and year out. So in general, if they are not bringing the safety down and mugging the gap, and we'll talk about that in a second, what we want to do is we want to block the running back or a tight end. Obviously, they are sending 6. We need to block 6. I typically do it with the running back personally, but when I block with the running back, a lot of people will leave it like this, where you can see the running back is picking up the middle linebacker there on the right side of the screen, that right A gap. I personally don't like him picking up somebody up the gap, because if we go to say hike, you're going to see that that guy's going to be able to get into our lap fairly quickly at times. And that's just something that I don't want to have to deal with as an offensive player. So what I like to do is I actually like to full slide away from the running back. And now the running back is going to get the edge player. And that just gives me a little bit more comfortability to step up into the pocket, right? So if they say hike, or if we say hike now, you're going to see that we could then step up and make our read. You are going to still need to get rid of the ball fairly quickly because you do have a lot of one-on-ones on the field. So if we look at the replay here real quick, you're going to see that we have a lot of one-on-one. So if one of our guys gets shed, like you can see our left guard does here, we're still going to need to get rid of the ball quickly. Okay, so again, don't think you're going to have all day just because you are blocking this correctly. But again, what I like to do, I do like to full slide away from that running back. And again, then I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to make my read. I'm going to make that read down the field. Again, a lot of cover 0 beaters we talk about on our website. So if you want to go check that out, HuddleGG. Again, it's going to really be helpful in helping you stop. Again, one of the more popular defenses you're going to face. And then again, the other thing people do like to do is they bring this user down here and they like to stand here to confuse the offensive line. The great thing this year with a new mechanic we have is if we untarget him, so if we bring up our pass protection and push Y, we can move around this flame icon. And you can see we can select the user there. And now we can do the same thing we just did, where if we're blocking that running back, we'll just full slide away from him. And you're going to see that it's going to leave that user unblocked, which again is exactly what we want. Most of the time people are not sending that user. So it's going to give us the opportunity to, again, know where we want to throw the ball, and again, make our reads down the field. So again, pretty easy to block this time and time again without letting a free rusher come in. Now, sheds are pretty consistent right now in the game. So again, make sure you understand you do need to get rid of the ball fairly quickly. But again, the easiest way is just to block that running back and either full slide away, which I like to do. You can full slide towards him as well. He'll go to the opposite side. Again, both of these will work. And you can also block a tight end and just block him on the line if you would like. Again, and if they bring that guy down, just make sure you untarget that user every single time. The next question we're going to go over today is how to get better pocket presence. This is something that people ask year in and year out, and it's very important if you want to become a better player in Madden to understand that you do need to pass the ball fairly consistently to be a better player. You can still be a run first type player, that's okay, but you are going to need to throw it in certain situations throughout the game, and being comfortable in the pocket is key, and making sure that you can throw the ball. So a couple of drills that I like to do. First of all, I'll just come out on a random play on offense, and then I'm going to literally pick random play on defense. So click that left stick in on the controller, and that's going to just pick a variety of different defenses that you're going to have to go against. Now from here, all I'm going to do is say hike and try to get sacked as close to the line of scrimmage as I can. Now there are going to be times where they send a blitz where you're going to get sacked immediately. Nothing you can do about that. just try to navigate the pocket the best you can. So you can see here, we're going to step up in the pocket, try to avoid that pass rush the best we can, and again, get sacked as close to that line of scrimmage as possible. What we don't want to do is back up like this and keep backing up, because one, our passing icons actually will disappear after we've backed up so far, and then secondly, if we get sacked, it's now 3rd and 30 rather than 3rd and 12 if we step up close to the line. So again, try to just step up close to the line, avoid that pass rush the best you can, and again, try to limit the sack to under 5 yards. Right? Try to work your double teams if you see your double teams. But again, try to make sure you get sacked within that 5-yard mark. And then you're going to be in a better position when you're actually in game. Like I said, if it's 2nd and 13, that's not a huge deal. If it's 2nd and 25, that's going to be a lot tougher on you. So you can see there, a guy got shed really quick. We step away from it, buy as much time as we can there, and again, try to get that sack as close to that line of scrimmage. Now, once we do get more comfortable with that, then I'm going to start to try to navigate the pocket and then work in throwing it to my reads on the field. That first drill, I'm not even going to worry about throwing the ball. I'm just going to focus on trying to stay upright in the pocket as long as I can. Here, I'm going to look at my reads. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to try to navigate, and then I'm going to throw. So I'm just going to go through my reads, work on that navigation in the pocket that I just worked on, and you're going to see here, we're going to have to get rid of the ball in certain situations quicker than others. Again, it's just understanding that feel. And again, we see a blitz here, so we just get rid of that ball quickly. That's the second part of the drill that I'm going to do. The third part of the drill is going to be setting up specific defenses that you're going to face in the game. So again, we just talked about a little bit ago in this video mid blitz. So what I'll do is I'll come into practice mode, I'll pick a play that I want to run, and I actually will set up the mid blitz that a lot of people are going to run that I'm facing. So again, the popular blitzes you're going to face, set them up. It's really important to have 2 controllers if you can in practice mode. We're going to here block our running back like we talked about. We're going to untarget that user, and then we're going to full slide away from that running back. And again, that should allow us the ability to pick up this blitz, and that's going to give us the time we need to make our read down the field. But now we know how we can navigate the pocket against a popular blitz. Again, loop blitzes, you can set up the loop blitzes that people run. Just get comfortable running against the different things that you're going to see most often in a game. So again, first drill, just make sure you work that pocket, try to stay in the pocket as long as you can, stay upright, get sacked as close to the line as you can. Second drill, do the same thing, just work on now going through your reads and throwing the ball. And then the third drill is going to be setting up specific defenses that you're going to face in game. Again, those meta defenses, and then again, doing the same thing, navigate the pocket, work your reads, and it's going to make you a better passer, and it's going to make you more comfortable in the pocket. Before we go any further, if you like this kind of content and want to get better at Madden, head over to HuddleGG today and use promo code LAUNCH26 to get 50% off our Pro subscription. That being said, let's jump right back into the video. The next question we're going to go over is something that we get every year at the beginning of the year, and it's what's the best playbook in the game? And unfortunately, there's not a one-size-fits-all answer for this question. And if anybody is telling you, no matter what, this is the best playbook, I wouldn't listen to them personally, because it is dependent on how you like to play. And if you want to go through an in-depth video, ANCAP did a great job breaking down the game plans in the game and what's best for individual playstyles, so make sure you go check that out. After this video, I will link it in the description and also in the article. But let's go over to HuddleGG for a second. Again, if you guys have not been here before, if you go to the top, it'll say playbooks, and then you can go to Madden database, and it's going to have all the different playbooks in the game here. And we're just going to look at a few depending on your play style and what you could expect from those. So the first one, something that a lot of people like to run in Madden year in and year out, is bunch. The Falcons have a really good bunch playbook. And if we look at it here, you're going to see we have pistol bunch and pistol bunch tight end. We also have gun bunch offset, gun bunch spread, gun bunch tight end, and gun bunch wide nasty, as well as an empty bunch open and an empty bunch wide. So you can see there's about 8 different bunch formations there in the Falcons playbook alone. So if you guys are a bunch user, that's definitely a good opportunity for you to look into their playbook. If you guys are a trips type player, the Browns is one that can be very, very effective. So if you go down here, you're going to see that they have trio Y flex, trips tight end, and trips tight end flex, which are all trips formations that will have the 3 receivers to the left side of the field with the tight end to the right. So that's really nice when it goes, or when you go into audibling between the 3, it's going to make it a quick audible so your guys are not running across the field. And then the last one is if you are a run heavy type player, you really enjoy running the ball, the Ravens are a really unique and a fun playbook to use. They have a couple of new formations this year that they did not have last year, where if we look, you have heavy Raven, which is a really heavy personnel type formation, but they also have pistol ace double wing, which is the same personnel as the Raven heavy. So you could audible down to this. And then they also have single back ace double wing. So they have a single back, a pistol, and a gun version with really heavy personnel with tight ends, fullbacks to really get those unique run concepts going. And they also have a lot of different things in pistol and also other shotgun runs as well. So it's not just those formations, but they are very unique. And again, if you're a very big runner in this game, this is definitely a playbook that you should try out. The next question that we get a lot of is how do you stop the run? And this is something that we get throughout the entire year. And unfortunately, there's not really a defense that we can say, hey, this will stop every run that you're going to face. But there are some general rules that you need to understand when using specific plays on defense to stop the run. And we're going to go over those here today. So the first one is going to be use a cover 4 style defense. Now, I do want to caution you, certain cover 4 drops in your base packages like 3-4 and 4-3 are either bugged right now or they changed the way that they work, where your safeties are no longer in the run fits. What I mean by that is if we come out and play like cover 4 quarters and we look at the run fits here, which is going to be, again, the gaps that players are supposed to fill in the run game. So you're going to see that all of our front 7 plus our 2 safeties are in the run fits. The only 2 players who are not in the run fits in a cover 4 defense are going to be those outside corners. This gets us 9 players playing the run before anything else, which is going to really help us defend a lot of runs in the game. Now, if we do go to a cover 4 drop and 3-4 odd here, you can see that the safeties are no longer in the run fits. Okay, now this is, or just appears to be in 3-4 odd in the 4-3 formations again, but like your nickel 3-3 odd, your dollar formations that have cover 4 drop, your safeties still are in the run fits on those specific plays. So again, just be careful if you are in a base set like a 3-4 or 4-3 to make sure that your safeties are in the run fits. But again, that's why we like cover 4 in general, because we do want to get those safeties in those run fits so they play downhill quicker towards that running back. Okay, so again, if you are in something like 3-4 or 4-3, you can definitely use cover 4 quarters, which is what we're in here, and you can see that those safeties are going to be playing more aggressively towards the run. So if we go to say hike here, what I want to show you is it's just going to give your opponent minimal area to find open gaps. Okay, and if we look at the safeties here, you're going to see that their first steps are down towards the line of scrimmage. Okay, that's what I mean by the run fit. You can see the difference here between the outside corner and the safety. When they say hike, the outside corners who are not in the run fits, if you look at the very far end of the screen as well, that outside corner over there is backing up where the 2 safeties are going forward. Okay, so again, the more people that we can get in the run fit, the better it is in defending the run. So that's why we like cover 4, because it's going to get the most players in the run fit, specifically in the middle of the field. And they're really going to have to bounce it outside if they want to get any successful runs off when you're in this style of defense. Now, if you do switch to something like a cover 2, what you're going to see is our outside corners are now in the run fits. Okay, so this is something that you could utilize if they're trying to run to the outside, where cover 4 would be better if they're trying to run more up the middle. Okay, the other thing that you can look at doing this year, especially if you're playing cover 4 style defenses, is utilize the new safety adjustments mechanic in your coaching adjustments. So if you go to your coaching adjustments and go down to safety depth, you can put it at close, which will put them about 8 yards off the line. And I would probably put the safety width to pinch as well. So now when we come out in that cover 4 quarters defense here, you're going to see that those guys who are in the run fits are even closer to the line of scrimmage to start. Then when our opponent goes to run the ball, it's just going to be not a lot of space for them to have openings to bust off huge run games. And the one thing I will tell you guys after playing tons and tons of Madden games is a lot of people who like to run the ball will give up if they're only getting 3 yards a carry. They're not going to stick it out. They want to bust those big runs open. Again, they want to get 15, 20 yards to keep that running game going. If you limit them to 3 to 4 yards a play, most people are not patient enough to stick to it. So just come out in a defense that's safe. Make sure that you're filling the appropriate gap with your user. Again, understanding what run fit you're responsible for, and that's going to help you slow down the run initially. And again, if there's a specific run, you can start to lab how to attack that. But a general rule, again, play that cover 4 defense, especially against runs up the middle. If they are starting to beat you to the outside, try to switch to a cover 2. The last question we're going to go over today is how do you beat match coverage? And I do want to preface this by saying match coverage is not a singular defense. So if you guys are asking this question in the future, make sure you do emphasize what type of match coverage you are going against, because cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms, cover 6, cover 9, cover 3 match, all of these different matching coverages in the game do have different principles. So you need to go about beating them a little bit differently when it comes to designing the offenses or the route combinations you're looking to attack with. But today we're just going to go against a cover 4 quarters defense, okay? So again, if we look at the defense here, it's just a cover 4 quarters, and we're going to show you 2 easy route combos that you can utilize to attack this. And the first one's going to be something we can pretty much guarantee ourselves 5 to 8 yards on no matter what. And all we need to do is come out in a 2x2 spread look just like this. I like to have the running back set to the wide side of the field, and the combination we're going to utilize is going to be to the left to the 2 receiver side. Okay, so all we need to do is put that slot receiver on a drag and the outside receiver on a smoke screen, and it's going to look just like this. Now it looks like a little bit of a funny route combination, but the reason why it works is there's a new check this year that tells this quarter flat to follow this drag all the way across the formation if he goes quick underneath. Okay, so we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to say hike. We're just going to be patient. We're going to allow him to go over there. We're going to throw it here, and we're going to turn it up the field. And again, that was the easiest 10 yards you're going to find against any style defense. Again, a lot of people panic sometimes when they're playing match coverage, but if we can guarantee ourselves 10 yards every time, it's going to be something that can be very, very beneficial for us. You can see, again, we're taking advantage of this quarter flat who is going to chase this drag across the formation. And again, these 2 guys are just going to back up because they are in deep quarters, and they're not going to cover this guy unless he runs vertical. Obviously, the smoke screen here is actually sitting behind the line of scrimmage, so they're just going to keep backing up into their zones, and that allows us just to dump this off. Again, you want to get upfield as quick as you can, and the reason we're going to be patient with this is we want that corner and safety to back up. You see how they keep backing up the longer we hold onto the ball? We want to wait for them to get as far away from our receiver as possible. So if we do that one more time, again, all it is to the 2 receiver side is a drag to the slot and a smoke screen to the outside receiver. We're going to say hike. We're going to wait, be patient. We're just going to dump that off, turn it up the field, and again, the easiest 8 yards there that you're ever going to find. Now, the second one is going to be something we're going to take advantage of the matching rules. Actually going to be able to beat them over the top. What we want to do, this is going to be to the running back side. Again, still the 2x2. We are just going to put the slot receiver on a short cross, and then the outside receiver on a slant, and then we're going to wheel the running back. Okay, so it's going to look like this to the right side. The route combination on the left is irrelevant for this, but you can see what we have here to the right side of the field. And what you're going to see when we go to say hike is we're just going to be patient, and we're going to be able to throw this ball to the running back over the top and get ourselves a big play and a possible 1-play touchdown, because that outside corner will follow the slant for a little bit, and he recognizes the wheel coming out of the backfield a little bit too late. So you can see here that he's following the slant, and then by the time he sees that we are going to the wheel, it's a little bit too late. He's out leveraged, and we're going to be able to throw that ball over the top, and you can see get ourselves either a big play down the field or a 1-play touchdown depending on the speed of your running back. So again, appreciate you guys being here for this episode of Ask Huddle. If you guys do want your questions answered in a future episode, wherever you're watching this, just make sure you leave that comment or leave that question in the comment section below, and we will do our very best to get to it. But you guys have a wonderful week, and I hope you guys are enjoying the start to Madden 26. And if you're looking to get even better at Madden, make sure to join our free Discord by going to HuddleGG/Discord. Have a great day.